Hey guys, welcome back. I hope that you had a wonderful Christmas and holiday season. But today I'm going to share with you a fun video on some really great tips and tricks on how to tear down all of our beautiful Christmas decorations. And so I think it's a bittersweet episode, certainly, where we have to say goodbye to all of our beautiful decorations. But with my passion of Christmas decorating, I also have a couple of tips that I can share with you to try to make that process seamless and maybe even a little bit enjoyable. So it's going to be a lot of fun, guys. So let's get started. So the process of putting away all of those wonderful holiday decorations is going to be a little bit dependent on what type of Christmas tree that you've put up and what type of decorations and ornaments you predominantly use. And what I mean by that is, are they fragile or non-fragile? So the first category is going to be non-fragile holiday ornament and decor storage. And so for me, in my household, the first recommendation that I want to go through is that I actually think that storing in large plastic containers is the way to go for the majority of your ornaments and decorations. But this is a little bit contingent on the fact that your ornaments are shatterproof. You certainly don't want to do this for Christmas trees that have a lot of fragile pieces on them. And so in this instance, I love storage in clear containers. And why I think that this is the best storage solution is because you can really see at a glance what you have. Now, the first thing with clear totes that I think is a little bit extra, but a very nice and fun touch, is adding labels to my boxes and bins. And so I'm going to go through my house and I'm going to think about what do I want to put in the bins, and I'm going to separate them by Christmas trees and Christmas tree styles versus color schemes versus scenes that are in my home. And I'm going to go ahead and create some labels. And so you can do it a little bit extra like me if you want, and use Canva, which is a free program that anyone can use, and also make the labels clear as to what's inside, just also because of the decorations that are on them. Or if you're really not into that, just go onto Word and choose a nice font and make a label for what is in that bin. Now, what I would recommend when making labels is that not only do you put the Christmas theme or the Christmas scene, and so for example, in my case, I would use the Winter Glam Christmas tree or the Christmas village, and so that would be an example of a Christmas tree theme and also a scene in my home where I have like items. And then what you would do is consider also listing an inventory of what would be in the contents of that box, and that's going to make it so nice for you next year when you go back and try to find those bins and separate them and organize them into the rooms of what's going to go where, instead of having everything in just a massive mess. The first way I would like to go through and demonstrate in my own home is I have a Christmas tree called the Winter Glam Christmas tree in my home, and I think that I would like to place this specific tree again next year. And since I plan on redoing this Christmas tree in its entirety, what I'm going to do is pack it in the reverse order into the clear totes that I had placed it up, so that way when I'm going through the totes and I'm getting ready to do the Christmas tree again next year, the things that I put on the Christmas tree first will be on the top. And so that's why you want to do that in reverse order. Now, because it's a smaller Christmas tree, I'm going to be able to fit multiple components into one tote, and so I actually use these dividers in the Christmas tree box to separate the sections and make it a little bit more clear as to what I'm going to be doing next. Now, for my Winter Glam Christmas tree in particular, the way I've done that is I actually do the ornament garland first, and then I apply the picks and the tree topper. Whereas in my other Christmas trees, my typical pattern for decorating Christmas trees is the ribbon first, and then the picks, and then the ornaments last. And so what I would consider is potentially taking down all the picks off the Christmas tree, putting in a divider, placing my ribbon on top of that divider, and then probably all the ornaments in a separate box. And so again, it's really going to be highly dependent on how you decorate that Christmas tree and what order you place those items. And then you just want to make sure you do it in reverse order, because the last thing you want to do is have a really nice organized box, and the first thing you want to put on your Christmas tree is at the bottom of the bin. Now you're dumping the entire bin on the floor so that you can decorate your Christmas tree the following year. And one last point on the clear bins: if you're a person who has a lot of inventory when it comes to ornaments, it would even be a great idea for you to just do separate bins of ornaments in all of the variations of color. So not necessarily specific towards a tree, because you're probably a person who also changes their Christmas decorations every single year. And so, for example, last year I did a red and gold Christmas tree. Well, then when I went to do my metallic harmony Christmas tree this year in my home, I had to pull all of the gold that was mixed in with the red, and then I pulled all of the silver that was mixed in with the Winter Wonderland theme. And so my point is that when you are someone who changes the themes quite often, it is definitely advantageous to just separate the Christmas ornaments out completely based on the color. So one bin of reds, one bin of golds, one bin of greens, etc. So that's really going to depend again on your volume and how you decorate for Christmas. But if that applies to you, that's a really good tip. So now that we kind of talked about all the non-fragile storage of Christmas ornaments, I do want to bring up a couple of storage solutions for those of you who have fragile ornaments and Christmas trees that have a lot of variation. Like my nostalgia Christmas tree that we put in our dining room, it has a ton of ornaments on there. Most of them are fragile, and they're all very important to us because we end up getting a Christmas ornament every single year to put on this, and they're all very special, whether they're baby's first Christmas ornaments or they're handmade ornaments for my children. I really want to make sure that these are well protected. And so if you have a Christmas tree like that, then it's going to be important for you to consider investing in something nice to store those ornaments to protect them over the years. And so I have included a couple of really nice ornament divider containers that I found that would be a good solution for storing and maintaining your ornaments. Honestly, my favorite organizer is this one that telescopes up in the air and has this beautiful fabric lining organizers. I mean, this is a stunning piece and just something that would absolutely serve you for many, many years. But I think unfortunately they have a hard time keeping this one in stock. So you're going to have to keep an eye for next year. This little beauty, I know I'm definitely keeping an eye out for this one as well, because it's just so nice. It's on wheels and you can just telescope it up, pull it right up to your Christmas tree, fill it up, and then roll it right into your closet. So this is a really nice piece. Now when it comes to storing your Christmas tree, guys, that's what I want to talk about next, because now we've taken down all the ornaments, we've taken down the garland and the picks. You know, the nice thing about picks is, guys, they're really an easy thing to store because you can just fluff those out the next year. So don't feel, worried about just throwing those in a box, maybe pulling them together a little bit, but you can stack those in a box, no problem. They're going to fluff out just fine the next year. Ribbon, it's better to go ahead and reel that back on the ribbon wheels. So try not to throw those away, because otherwise it can cause a little bit of crimping of your ribbon and it may not look as nice the following year. Especially if you have invested in really nice ribbon, you want to make sure that you're going to store it appropriately. If you've thrown away your ribbon reels, you could consider taking some leftover inserts from your wrapping paper and just go ahead and put a little piece of tape on one end of the ribbon, tape it to the cardboard reel, and then just go ahead and wrap it up that way. Then that way you can do multiple strands of ribbon on one, and then just cut them into place and put them in the bins. So next I want to talk about Christmas tree storage. And the reason I want to bring this up is because I think that I've seen this in myself, that a lot of my Christmas trees, they're just difficult to get back into the box, and so then they end up having a little bit of a crack, and then they can collect a lot of dust. And so it's important for you to get a box that you're going to be able to seal shut, just to protect your Christmas tree and prevent some of the dust that accumulates over time. So another interesting way to store your Christmas tree is actually upright. And so for those of you who maybe have a smaller Christmas tree, it's going to be more difficult for a large 12-foot Christmas tree. But if you have a smaller Christmas tree, it might be interesting to try upright storage. If you, for example, don't want to take off all of the ornaments on your Christmas tree, or all the picks, or all the ribbon, you may be able to get away with storing that Christmas tree with a bag and on some wheels in your garage. And then that way you don't have to go completely from ground zero the following year. You can just take it out and probably need to do quite a bit of fluffing, but it's going to take a lot of the hard work out of decorating the Christmas tree. You know, for me, I love decorating the Christmas tree. It's part of the joy, it's part of the excitement. But for some of us, you know, maybe it's not so practical anymore. We're getting older, it's difficult to get down, it's difficult to get up on those ladders. And so, you know, once you have that decorated, maybe it's starting to get a little bit difficult for you. And so that might be something to consider as well. When you're looking for these upright storage bags, though, make sure that you're looking for one that has the caster wheels on the bottom, and so that you basically set the Christmas tree into a rolling base, because otherwise you're going to have a really hard time of getting that Christmas tree into your garage or wherever you're going to put it, because you're going to have to carry it. So I think that the upright storage with the wheels are a good investment, because again, they're good quality. It's something that's going to last you a long time. You can get a Christmas tree bag that's going to be a fraction of the cost, but again, you know, it's not going to come with the wheels. So make sure that you're keeping an eye out for that when you're shopping, because I noticed a lot of them were advertised in the photos, but it didn't actually come with those. So just a little tip, and I just want to make sure you guys are safe in your shopping. So next, I would like to just bring up a little tip for your Christmas textiles. So if you're like me, you may have some Christmas blankets. I put Christmas quilts on the beds and on the guest room beds, and I like to do pillow covers and throws and things like that. So I think that a vacuum sealer bag is a really good way to condense all of those pieces together. And then once you seal those things in a vacuum bag, you could always place those in a large clear container to have everything together, and then that way you can see what's in the box, put your label on it, and you're ready to go for the next year. The next section is about Christmas wreaths. One of my favorite ways to hang wreaths in my home is with the hangers in my closet. So I have a deep closet under my staircase that I actually hang tons of wreaths from all the seasons in there, and I just put them up on a hanger. But you know, to protect them from some dust, depending on where you're hanging them, you could also consider placing a garment bag over top of that hanger and that wreath. But also I found these really nice clear bags that would allow you to do both, so you'll be able to see it, and also then you can hang them up on a hanger and then just store them up off the floor. And it's a really good space saving option, and it's going to keep that wreath safe from dust as well. And the last type of storage I wanted to mention to you is about wrapping paper and your bows and ribbons and everything else. I think, guys, you really want to consider getting a special storage compartment for this. And am I the only one who goes Christmas shopping after Christmas and buys a ton of holiday wrapping paper on sale that you can get at a great discount? And so I end up having tons of ribbon and bows and wrapping paper and bags, especially because I reuse my bags. And so it's really nice to be able to store those in a storage container. And I found a really cool one on Amazon I wanted to show you guys. I think that organization makes me happy, especially organizing my Christmas items. So lastly, guys, I just want to give you a couple bonus tips on things that I've noticed when storing Christmas decor. If you're a person who gets new things after the holiday season, it's maybe a good idea to take photos and inventory of these new items. Create a digital inventory list to help you with the holiday planning for the following year. This is going to really allow you to be on top of your decorating game even before you start pulling all those bins out of the attic. My second tip is, while you're cleaning up, it is a good time to purge those broken and old items that you haven't, maybe used or put out for many years. Just take that time to look through and say, this hasn't been put out for several years. I think that it's time to maybe donate that and let that item be a treasure for someone else. So guys, I would love to hear what your favorite storage solution idea is and what you do in your own home. Let me know in the comments below. I hope that you have a wonderful new year and also fun taking down all those Christmas decorations and getting your home tidy and ready to go for that new year feeling. Speaking of the new year, the next episode, I'm going to be bringing you a couple of really cozy episodes on how to bring in that hygge and some feng shui into your home after the Christmas season, because you know, when after we've taken down all those beautiful Christmas ornaments and lights, our homes can look really bare and they can feel a little bit void of that warmth that we have through the Christmas season. So I'm going to make sure to show you how to bring that warmth into your home in these winter months to make sure that it still feels comfortable and cozy. I hope to see you next time, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.